If the project is 1 billion, you can't put 50 million in budget for the next financial year and say the project is funded. The money must be put in the budget. Number three, whatever relationship, whatever agreement that they want with William Ruto, let them learn from me. It must be made public. If they are being promised that they will be given the deputy president, it must be announced publicly. Whatever they are being promised, there should be a public pronouncement. Because the mistake I made, we did some things under the table in writing. Even Musalia, they did the same. All those things were not honored by William Ruto. And I can tell the people of ODM, things they are agreeing with him, they will not be honored unless he makes a public pronouncement. And they should demand early enough so that they have time to look elsewhere in case they are not satisfied with what they are agreeing with him. Number four, and most important, to make sure that ODM stands. William Ruto had no footage in Nyanza. He had no footage in Coast. He had no footage in Northeastern. He had no footage in Western. If ODM enters in agreement with William Ruto, they must demand that those areas are zoned for ODM so that they have enough members of parliament to be able to go into government with. But if they open up their strongholds to William Ruto and UDA that has no presence in those areas, they will be swallowed. And that is what is happening. Once those things are done, then if they want to enter into a deal with him, they are safe. And I'm just sharing this because, in my community they say, if you are bitten by a black snake, when you see a rope, you run away. A rope that looks like a snake. And I'm just saying, because I can see what is happening, I can see the same deception. The time he is spending in Nyanza, every day he is there, he spent more time. He was 9 years in the mountain. Nowadays he doesn't come. The same script. He was coming to the mountain, promising us goodies, promising us heaven, promising us all manner of things until we elected him. I can see the same script going on. And I have a responsibility as a leader in this country to tell the people of Nyanza, please,
Asante.
I've been through this.
Yeah.
My people have been through this. We are all crying because we were deceived. We were conned. I can see another con game going on. I can see deception going on. Please be aware.
Okay.
And if you don't heed and it happens, please never say Rigiji never told us.
Wacha nikurudishe nyuma kidogo, Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais wa kitambo. Hapo awali ulisema huna shida na hii jamii. Unavyozungumza katika ile structure ya uongozi wa DCP, je, kuna yoyote yule ambaye anatoka katika eneo la Nyanza? Swali la pili, kuna wakati ulisema the position ya PS Interior na CS Finance ilikuwa a reserve of the mountaineers.
Yes.
Na bado unatuambia unatupenda?
No,
watu wa Nyanza.
My friend, one, Mable Owino, the Deputy Secretary General in charge of strategy, is a Luo girl from Kisumu, very talented young woman, and she's working with me. When I was appointed Deputy President, my Chief of Staff was George Makeboy from the Luo Nation, a great administrator.
Lakini aliondolewa baadaye akapelekwa mahali.
Ruto alimtoa akampeleka
Djibouti.
Djibouti, some funny somewhere. Yeah, I loved the guy. And when Ruto found my office was functioning well and he wanted to bring me down, one of the strategies he did to start undermining me was remove George McAvoy. He's a man I had brought to my office. I have total respect for the community and their professionalism. There's something you asked me. You said,
CS Treasury.
CS Treasury, yes, it's true. Just the way ODM is saying Deputy President is a reducible minimum. Before we elected William Ruto, we had some demands and we agreed. And those are positions we negotiated. We had negotiated for National Treasury, CS, for CS Interior, for CS Agriculture. That is the way negotiations are done. And I was just saying, what we negotiated, you cannot take away. It does not mean that I have a problem with whoever I was giving. I was just saying, what we have negotiated, give it to me. Just the way we are saying now, I have had Governor Mombasa saying Deputy President is a reducible minimum. If they agree that they are given Deputy President, if they are shortchanged, they must complain. That's the way these negotiations go. So myself, I was quite right in saying whatever we agreed, we delivered. You had said, give me your votes, I'll give you this. We give you our votes, and what we gave you are taking away, I'm saying is wrong.
Ukiangalia hiyo ratiba ya wale mawaziri ambao katika baraza la mawaziri ya Rais Ruto, kuna baadhi watu ambao ni wanane kutoka eneo la Mlima Kenya.
Yes.
Does it bother you? Does it worry you?
Not at all.
In terms of representation in the cabinet?
I negotiated for the mountain in exchange of votes. ODM is demanding 50%. Is there anything wrong? You demand, you know, my friend.
This
is
politics,
where
the problem is.
Politics is a game of interest.
This is where the problem is. So what about the other nations and the other tribes?
But have you asked? Have you asked?
That conversation.
Have you asked Oburu when he is demanding 50? What will happen?
That is a conversation they're having, and I'll speak to him when we speak to him.
Yes.
But we're speaking to you now. The Mount Kenya region has about 8 CSs, more than 15 PSs, and more than 300 in this cycle of government in terms of leadership. Is that fair distribution of resources and appointments, considering
my brother Trevor, we had a political negotiation. William Ruto wanted votes from the mountain, 4 million votes. We gave it to him, and we say in exchange, this is what we want. That's the way politics are done, and that's why I'm saying ODM cannot agree to dissolve, because if they dissolve, how will they negotiate with William Ruto?
They've not had a conversation of dissolving, but I'm asking you, because you're a leader of the opposition now, and if you have a negotiation with ODM, will you then offer them the 8 slots and the 15 PS?
My friend, the dynamics of those negotiations will dictate what will happen then. We are not yet there. Let's not cross the bridge before we get there. Negotiations are informed by the parameters that exist at that time. William Ruto had been rejected by all other Kenyans except the mountain. He was desperate for the mountain vote. So we also asked him, we are the only people who are willing to back you. Coast rejected him. Northeastern rejected him. Nyanza rejected him. Western rejected him. Nairobi rejected him. Nobody else was willing to back him. The mountain was the only stupid region that could not see through him. We were conned, and we have accepted our mistake, and we are going to correct it. But since we are the only ones who are available to support him, we demanded as much as we could, because that's the nature of negotiations. But now, if we are in a coalition like now, we are with so many other people, I don't think we can demand that much, because whoever we are with, we are many of us, you know. But that time, other than the mountain, nobody else trusted William Ruto. They knew him, and they knew whom he is.
Do you understand
and history is repeating itself. As we speak today, only that region seems to believe William Ruto can be anything. And that is why they are demanding 50%. And I think they are quite right. Because the mountain doesn't want him. Coast doesn't want him. Everybody doesn't want him. So the people of ODM in Nyanza are saying, well, since nobody wants you, can you give us 50%?
Do you understand why people are a bit shy to deal with you? Because of the strong language that you use. Even right now, when we speak about a conversation.
Say you are shy dealing with me.
You have just
Don't
said,
talk about other people.
You've just said the Mount Kenya region are the only people who are stupid enough. Yes. That tagging is where the problem is.
No, we were
labeling communities.
I have said that is a feeling in my community, that we were conned, and we did not see it through the con. We were conned, and we have accepted. And that is a mess, is a language everywhere. We were duped into electing somebody who cannot lead, a businessman who has, reaped the country, who has taken over all the businesses in the country, who has ordered abductions and extrajudicial killings, who has spoiled relationship with other countries. We were duped. And when people are duped, how do you describe them? And I have said myself, I was stupid. I have accepted. I was stupid enough not to see through William Ruto. And that's why I'm saying I don't want anybody else to be conned. I don't want anybody else to be duped. I have a responsibility as a Kenyan leader to tell other people whom I can see they are being conned. You guys, you are being conned. I have been through this with my people. We were conned. And if I don't tell you, because myself, I feel terrible, because Uhuru Kenyatta had warned me and our people, and we did not listen. And we can therefore not blame Uhuru Kenyatta, because he had told us, this man is not fit to lead. This man will make sure there is no country. The same has come to pass in Uhuru Kenyatta's lifetime. I don't want any other community to fall into the same trap when I'm alive and when I have a mouth to tell them. And that's why I'm telling the people of Nyanza, hey, be careful. And if you must go to bed with this man, can you demand the following?
Will you approach ODM and have a conversation around coalitions with them? Because Wiper has given that
coalition,
but DCP has
coalition making is a continuous process. We are waiting to see what happens after Ruto breaks down ODM and what remains and whom we can deal with.
How will he break it down? Because there's been no conversation about dissolving ODM.
Already,
it's a conversation for a coalition, a broad-based government.
Junet, Wanga, they have sold ODM to Ruto. It was sold in Kirigori.
There's no evidence.
Did they say only ODM, and what is the evidence to that effect?
I've just told you.
Waliuza chama kwa pesa ngapi?
We know these things, my friend. We have been around for a long time.
No, explain this to us.
When Rigathi tells you your wife is pregnant, go and buy diapers.
Let's explain this to us, Mheshimiwa. So you are working currently with the DAPK and Wiper and everybody else. Have you bought them?
No, I've not.
So why is it that when UDA is working with ODM, then they've been bought?
You see, they have been bought. That is why they want to kick out Sifuna, the Secretary General of the party.
No, let's talk about you.
That is why. No, listen,
so why?
You asking me why.
Yeah, have you bought this
No,
Wiper
I've not
and
bought
DAPK?
anybody. They don't.
So why is building the other coalition between ODM and UDA a matter of one buying the other and not coalition building?
Because the people who sold ODM don't want Sifuna. Because Sifuna has refused to sell ODM to William Ruto. That's why they have called an NDC to kick him out. And that will be the death of ODM. And that's what Ruto wants. He wants to kill ODM. He told me myself that I'll kill this ODM. I cannot allow
Again,
such
that
a
is
strong
hearsay. So we cannot verify that statement because that was a conversation
Go and ask him
between
when
the
you
two of you. How much was ODM bought for?
I don't know the figure, but a deposit.
So how then do you know it was bought?
A deposit has been paid.
How much deposit?
What?
How much is the deposit?
That is a story for another day.
No.
So you're the one making the allegation.
I'll go and find out also.
You're the one making the allegation.
Ukasema sisi kazi yetu ni labda kujua zaidi.
Pia nyinyi mfanye kazi kidogo, mimi nimepatia nyinyi tip, nyinyi mfanye hiyo ingine. You are also investigative journalists. Go and find out the figure. Okay. And let me tell you what happened. My brother, just open up your eyes. I've done oral literature. I studied Luo customs. Death and burial is a very strong and emotive issue in the Luo nation. Okay? Raila Odinga dies. Before his body arrives in Kenya, ODM has changed hands. In an African setup, and among the Luo have studied oral literature, you don't inherit a man before he's buried. ODM, Raila was the leader of ODM. He dies. A team is sent to go and bring his body. Junaid Mohammed conveniently becomes sick. He doesn't go to collect the body. Suluhu gets sick, conveniently doesn't go to collect the body. Oburu, conveniently, the brother doesn't go to collect the body. Before the body arrives, National Executive Council is convened. And the leadership of ODM changes hands. Raila Odinga is inherited before his body arrives in the country and before he is buried. It has never happened in an African custom. ODM had already been sold, and the coup was done even before his body arrived in this country. Yeah? And that is why they want to kick out Sifuna, because Sifuna cannot agree to that scheme.
The statements of the ODM being sold is the one thing you keep referring to, but you can't tell us how much.
Why should we
I've asked you that conversation? And you keep referring to Sifuna, that is one person. That is just a fallout with one person.
No, you are low. Doesn't it bother you? That a man is inherited before he is buried.
I'm not the one answering the questions. You're the one answering the questions.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing a question.
You're the one answering the questions.
For your own mind.
Why would you say it's been bought?
But why don't you? Why are you not asking me to explain?
We're asking you to explain how much was it bought for, and you're not telling us.
Lots of money.
How much?
A lot of.
What was the deposit?
Lots of money.
Is it because one person leaves, then now a party has been bought?
Lots of money.
And I've asked you the same question. Have you bought Wiper and DAPK, the ones you're working with?